Wes is gonna fall asleep.
Yeah, man, dude, I got
Wes.
my dude, yeah, for sure, dude. And today especially, I had my chainsaw recertification course, so I was falling trees all day.
Do like
But yeah,
lumberjack competitions and like cut the log up, down, and then like notch the. Oh, he started the show
Oh
and then
no.
immediately disconnected. What's so funny?
Just with the rain.
Starts the show, immediately disconnects.
All right, we live now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So what was that? Let's go off as soon that we go live. So welcome on That Smoke Show, guys.
wouldn't let.
Welcome,
Yeah,
welcome, welcome.
sorry about that, guys. Welcome back to That Smoke Show.
How's everybody doing? Kanatai was just talking to us about a seed thing that we were talking about that he has some seeds from that is literally fire. He actually posted a bunch of cool purple pestle seeds. Tell us about that. You were talking to us about the crazy open pollination.
yeah, definitely a crazy pollination. Oh, big, huge, massive open pollination.
That's more than open. I mean, everyone was invited in that party of mail. You said that there was 100 different type of mail, like all different strain, intermix with all a third of an acre of female, or
A
was it just
male.
a
No,
male?
no.
A
Just
third
male
of an
pie.
acre just of male.
Yeah,
Okay.
just a
I
male.
would say
Yeah.
Pheno Hunter back three right there. Like,
I mean, if you don't know what's the kind of variety you could get in that kind of plant, you just start those seeds. It can go from 8 weeks to 20 weeks. I don't know, man. The flowering time will be all over the place, so have fun. Yeah. That's the most weird
Yeah,
stuff I've heard,
there was
man.
I think 25, I think like something like 25 cultivars that was CTS gear, and then there was a whole bunch of gear from the farm themselves. Because I remember they had a purple tie that I didn't have no purple tie. They had one of the purple tie male in there that was just beautiful. I was like, well, just because the structure of the male, everything, and then I look at the name and it was purple tie. So they had a bunch of their gear. I mean, there was so I don't know how many cultivars there was, but yeah, there was at least I don't know, probably 100 plus males, and then I don't know, a stone throw away is 400 females out in a big, even a bigger area. And everything got knocked pretty well, pretty well. And one of the males also in there was a freak show I guess it was about F10, freak show F10 male, like 6, 7 foot tall, dumping as well.
So let's see that there will be people that will think that must be one of those ancestor real Thai. But no, that's a freak show.
Yeah. And the freak show, it works really good with the thin leaf dominant. You know, I mean, you get a broadleaf, you don't get much mutation. I mean, you can, but it's usually on the edge of the leaf. But you rock a freak show into like these heirlooms that are really, really thinned out. That's where you come out with some crazy looking new leaf structures. The thinner the leaf, the easier it is for freak show to cut it. Less surface to cut out.
So that's kind of interesting that the thin leaf are pairing better. So is it bringing a tie to bud formation also, or like other kind of aesthetic trait?
The flower, would you say the flower what?
When
How's
you
it come
cross
out?
the freak show with the thin leaf variety, do the freak show bring some better trait from the flower? I don't
Yeah,
know
big
if
time.
it's tighter or better.
When you do a freak show to a raw heirloom, it definitely going to bring better structure to the flower. I mean, and it's going to bring a lot of resin too. I mean, trichome is definitely something the freak show brings, not just to to everything really, because freak show is nasty, sticky, you know.
The one that I've seen on your Instagram was pretty frosty. You've let it go late with the season, but that was really, yeah, quite frosty. Have you made some ash with the freak show?
These guys did, but I never got to see it because it moved so fast. It was gone. But they did. They had two plants in like what size? They were like they were I think they're like 15 or 20 gallons pots, and the plants got pretty big, and they just cut them fresh, frozen, and then they washed them, and then put them in a freeze dryer or whatever. They freeze dry everything, all the concentrates over here. And then I didn't get to see it though. It was already gone. I didn't get to smoke none or nothing because it was finished and then out, gone. So, but they said it was good. It was sweet. Like, but to tell you the truth, it was a freak show. It was a final freak, which is I don't have freak show no more. It's final freak because it's way past freak show. And it was a Freakazoid V3 in there, and it was a Freak Show or Final Freak is what was in the tent, and they just washed them together. So he just mixed it, even though the chirp profiles were not the same. He didn't give a shit because there was only two plants, so he figured he put them together.
Yeah, when you mix plant, at least from the same variety, it's not that bad.
Yeah, they look similar, but they didn't smell really similar. And the flower structure on the Freakazoid is better because of the fact that Freakazoid you got juice box haze in it, which has the OG way deep in there. Which was the original Siam OG when I whipped that up anyway. So I believe that's what brings it.
That's great. Yeah, I've seen your Freakazoid. It was a bit bigger than the final freak show that you call final freak. That was bigger and more vigorous. Kind of
The
Yeah.
interesting.
Freakazoid, the freak show leaf expression on the Freakazoid is much more like chunkier on the nugs and yields a lot
Yep.
better than the freak show.
It's more. It's thicker of a leaf. It's like the same, but it's not.
And much better yield too. But you get there's a couple different phenos with the Freakazoid. I had a couple that looked regular, a couple that were sawtooth, and a couple that were freak show. They were like 50% freak show looking, and then mix with the other two.
Yeah, the V3 comes out a little bit more. I think you get a little more freak show leaf structures than the whatever you want to call it, like the shredding of the other ones. So if they don't come out like freak, they come out all shredded out, kind of like Berry Freak from Canna Research. That's amazing because my V3, I come out with the V3, finally got like freak show hella coming out of those beans, or that look, and then you get that cool shredding. And Max over there at Canna Research, he come out. He has menthol skunk, right? He has a cultivar. I got it, and I ran it right at the same time I popped it with my V3s. And dude, trying to be like unique and come out with some new shit. And then this guy over there, dude, his fucking menthol skunk came out exactly. I mean, it looked like they were popped out the same pack. Dude, I was like, what the fuck? And the percentage of shit looking like freak show and stuff looking like berry freak, I want to say, you know what I mean? But the terp profile is totally different. He uses broadleaf, more broadleaf with his whip ups. I use more thin leaf with my whip up with freak show. But that pack come out exactly, except when you the stem rub, no, they don't smell the same at all, but they look identical. It's fucking nuts. It's
Yeah,
funny, dude.
I think the craziest thing you said about the freak show, first off, it's cool that it's super heat tolerant in the full sun, even in the tropics. But the fact that you were finding that it was acting almost like Reunion Island, and that it would grow perennially, so it would grow multi-cycle, so it would go back to veg and then flower and veg and flower.
Yeah, that's the only one I've seen from the States do it. Nothing else from the States does it. They just finish out. But Freak Show, yeah, well, I noticed it when I was waiting because I let them ride. When the beans are in, I'll let them ride. I'll let it ride, just so I can make sure every bean's finished. And that's when I noticed that it started re-vegging out the top of the buds back in the veg. I was all, what the fuck? Yep, so it can. It looks like it would just ride along with the heirlooms out there. And it doesn't care about the heat. The heirlooms melt or they shut down before Freak Show. And I think Freak Show was built up high and cool, hella cold because the teammates are high elevation genetics. That is shapeshifter, I believe. I mean, they're up there at like 7,000 foot or something doing all these genetics.
Well, it's pretty cool with a lot of the tropical ones. Like you see with the temple tie, they just like shut down when it gets too hot. They just like go from
Yeah.
praying to like bending, like getting the leaves down so they're not getting so much sun to like cool off. And then as soon as it's like 3 or 4 o'clock, they're like back to praying again.
Yeah. The temple, yeah, the Buddha Massive doesn't like that hot
Yeah.
shit.
And if anybody needs any of those beans, I'll let you tell them what I have.
I believe you got the Buddha sugar and the low high, the the temp the
Sweet temple, a sweet temple, and a temple
sweet
gentian.
temple, yeah, sweet temple tie, and also you got next gen, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the next that's just the massive whipped back up in the backyard. But I have 4 Buddha tie males, and I had 6 females right outside those males, and then also had the what became the creation of the low high because it was a broadleaf heirloom whipped up with the lowland thin leaf heirloom, so I call it low high. And then the other 2 is the Buddha sugar and the sweet temple was created off of the Buddha massive. So those are, if you're gonna have that vigor of the massive and a little bit broader of a leaf phenos, you're gonna have to hunt the shit. That's
Chad asked which one's the loudest.
oh well, I'd say the low high smell had that mango smell for sure. That honkalok, that squirrel tail, the structure was not that foxtaily. More of a round, more open structure. You know what I'm saying on the flowers, and then the uh the sweet temple. That one was another one that was that had that real nice mango terp to it. All of
I
them
found
have
some
vigor.
coffee
All of
in
them.
the sweet temple tie. I found or the sweet tie. I had found some coffee ones in those. Remember?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You get yeah, exactly. And then the Buddha sugar, that one was like it reminded me of like I said like squishing or pressing sugar cane or something. It just had like a sweet sugar note, not really I couldn't put a fruit on it. That's why I call it Buddha sugar because it smelled just like sugar. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy. But they
I'm
all were
gonna run a few of
definitely
those.
and the
Gonna run a
Buddha
few of those
sugar,
temples.
that one's gonna elongate. The Buddha sugar, you could get foxtailing and longer colas. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna be that stretched out, real squirrel tail look
The
to it.
good, and all of them are really humidity resistant. You don't have to worry about like mold and shit like that with these.
Yeah, people in Florida, I think would have great. Anywhere tropical, the lower part of the states where it doesn't get, if you can no ice. You know what I mean? If it gets down to the 50s, that's all good. But like anywhere in Cali, I tried it 2 years, man. I brought the beans back there. I did 2 seasons with Ty, and then none of them ever made it, never. And they were inside 30 by 60 by 24-foot ceiling in my greenhouse, and I still
Yeah,
had to
but
chop those things down like 3 times.
the temple tie though, we ran last year in the States, and it finished up in time for the normal growth season. So
The temple tie, the
yeah,
raw heirloom?
yeah, your buddy did. Remember?
Nah, dude, he did Buddha's fuel, bro. That
That's
was
what it was.
Buddha's fuel. Buddha's fuel.
Yeah,
That's different. That's an S. That's that when I made my OG Kush, when I did the S1 and F3 on my
well,
OG, check it.
when
I
we
chucked that.
flowered them, when we ran them at 12-12 or what, they were finishing up in time. So I think if you're growing them outdoors, as long as you're, I don't know if you're in Michigan, you might not pull it off, but if you're in the lower two-thirds of the country, I think you can
Yeah.
finish them in time. Outside of maybe, obviously Colorado is not going to happen, but if you're in the east or in the south or in the west coast, I think you're fine. And if you're going them indoors, hack the shit out of them. Because if you don't, they'll get out of control. Go
Indoors, that's
faster
why I know it
than
sounds
anything
stupid,
else.
but the indoors in the States for the heirlooms, at least you can, you can finish that. You can finish it without having the weather be an issue. That's the only thing. But doing heirlooms indoor to me just sounds weird saying it.
Well, the other bit of it is I've noticed with the tropical ones, having grown some of the African lines too, is that they trigger like they're so used to that half-hour time difference for flowering that when they
Uh-huh.
have like multiple hour difference from when they were in veg and the high season, they're going from like a July to like
Yeah,
September sun, they'll trigger real hard and speed up a little bit
almost
more.
turn like autoflower.
Yeah, yeah, they're like stress freaking out trying to
Yeah,
finish.
but dude, that's another one. The Buddhist fuel. That one's definitely a banger, man. That's Freak Show knocked up with OG S1 pollen. So it was a feminized line, which was Freaky Fuel. I ran 25 of those, pulled out 4 that were just stupid dumb. And I brought one inside. I hit it with that one hitter quitter from Toad. And then the other 3 stayed outside and got hit up with that Buddha Thai Massive, bro. So that stuff is fucking OG Kush from NorCal, Freak Show, whip up, and then knocked by the Buddha Thai Massive. And that's what Doug ran. And those things were, if you were at the video, dude, those things were fucking huge, bro. And he's there up at the top of the highest point in Sonoma, and those things are blowing. I mean, the wind coming off that whole bay and shit right there, you get like 50-mile-an-hour winds like every day. Them things were beat to shit, but they just still stacked fat, and they finished before the cold. So that's cool. I was stoked on the updates for sure.
Nice.
And the temple OG, which was the sour cream OG, which is top dog gear, and my gear whipped up to make the sour cream OG, and that also got hit by the Buddha Thai Massive. Had one of those out there, so I mean Shire's got that too.
I was just picking out what I'm gonna plant for my outdoor for this year. I'm like going through that right now.
Dude, you should run. I need to get you. I need to get Shire. Get you a Buddhist fuel, dude. You should run. I bet you your eyebrows, and you get that shredding.
Well,
You're good.
I wanna run one of those ABC Freak Show crosses because I can plant that like
You better
wherever.
get that
No one's
started
gonna
now, dude.
notice.
That shit is so molasses,
They
dude.
grow
Turtle.
so slow. Yeah,
I
that's the
know.
one downside. If anyone ever gets any ABC genetics, super fucking cool. Totally like on stealth mode, which is cool. You don't have to worry about plant counts and stuff because no one in the right mind is gonna think it's a cannabis plant. But the
Well, some of them, no, some of them revert. It's funny because some of the Freak Show and ABC go back to a normal weed leaf when
that's true.
both
I did
parent.
have like 5 or 10% that were normal looking, but most of them come out some kind of mutant. But the tiny leaf ones that look like the ABC or the modified ABC, like
Yeah.
don't remotely look like weed, but they grow at like a third of the speed of a normal plant. Like they grow bushy as fuck, but they're just super slow.
ขนมอีกแล้วไปแลก
Yeah.
We had a bunch of people. I had somebody hit me up the other day about Lex episode with the recipes and stuff, asking for clarification on something. I forget what it was though. At any rate, what's up with you, Wes? What have you been doing growing?
Well, I've been work's been a little slow around home, so I got shipped away. I managed to kill all the beans that I planted while I was gone. No water. I think I missed there, not doing the greatest, but the candy store BX I'm growing is absolutely. It changed quite a bit. I remember the first time I grew it, it was absolutely amazing smelling, but it had no structural support to it. And this is like the third time in my grow room, and it doesn't even look like the same plant. It's holding itself up great. It's like totally taking care of itself. Yeah, no. So I'm looking forward to it. I really enjoyed the smoke off last. Quite different. Wow, I really. And yeah, no, just cutting more clones, making more plants.
You've picked more
Got it.
clone, you said?
Yeah, I'm gonna. I have cut some. I have a tray of them sitting and going right now, and there's some of them are just starting. That are
So
getting.
you'll have to restart a wall or the run of seeds since your new one for the next run are dead, you said? Damn it.
Yes, right, completely.
Don't
Yeah,
tell me that you're gonna have to squeeze some of the flour in it, right? Do you need them to be triploid? And I think if they are gender fluid, it's even better. But they need to be autoflower triploid. I'm pretty sure of that one. I don't know if they do menage a trois, but I know they are triploid.
and yeah, so I don't know. I've been thinking about. I don't know whether it'll be get done this year or not. I'm going back to whole family. Um, but thinking about building in my growth whole, like, want to do a whole nother uh, building outside.
Sorry,
Um,
your mic is missing
oh, sorry,
part.
sorry. I just wanted to. I've been thinking about building a new grow room outside and separate from the house, its own thing. But I don't know if I'll get.
Yeah, that's not a cheap thing. So one thing I've seen some people were doing is insulating a trailer, but it's still kind of not cheap for the size you got. But once it's equipped, you can always move it. There's the only practical part of it, depending on where you want to put that thing. You always have those wheel on that. But we're talking what 6,000-7,000 at least to have
Yeah,
a
at least
12,
for the.
14 foot something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you
And
need to
then
put
I,
another 2,000 at least to equip it, around that. So it's nearly 10,000 to get a movable room
pretty much.
of 7 by 10, something like that, 7 by 15, it depends on your deal. You can get cheaper one, but yeah. I talk about the new one.
No, I don't know that. I don't know. I heard you talking about going out and doing some guerrilla growing this summer, perhaps putting some outside, and also sounds pretty. That also sounds.
You think about throwing some seeds of something that could make the cope with the temperature where you are.
Well, yeah, it's gonna have to suck it.
Well, I don't know that many super strong stuff that are really resistant for up north.
Yeah,
There's some things that I'm always a bit like doing that running gag with those things, but we all know there's two, three different things that it brings your stuff earlier. It's kind of not too bad, but it's hard to get something that you could at least clone the best, but being early enough that it gonna trigger and so that it finish early September, let's say. End of August, early September. That will be the perfect zone. But when you cross with those things that have already that range, you have to take a couple years of going into and going in population breeding to just get those that you want. Right. So yeah, there's not many people that do that anymore, but I think it's one of the shit that we should get at least a better focus on that kind of thing, because autoflower is one thing, but if you got an early strain that you can clone,
yep.
sometimes you want to just clone that best few female from it and then use them their brother from more seeds that you pop next year so that you can put that small clone maybe on a corner and make seeds. You know that it was the best of last year or the few two, three best. I don't know how many you want to go, but legally you should go four. Yeah, I'm not that much into autoflower on like relying on it completely. I find it always like, yeah, I was like sidekick. Yeah, I'll put some, but I would never put all my egg into a run of autoflower outdoor. At
No,
least unless I know someone that tell me I've tried that one, and that one. I'm like, okay, three things different. Yeah, okay. I may dip my toe into it, but I will have my old school workhorse on the side. Because I've got catch a few times like that, man, and trying something to from someone and filling that place and
well,
being like, well, I went all the fucking summer to have something that will never finish in time or mold
yeah,
is
yeah.
completely
Well,
or like
there's
a crappy things, whatever it was.
the amount of seeds I tried to, and like there was just no way of doing it. Like disaster after disaster. They'd like start pushing pistols, and then I get the first frost done, and then yeah,
Yeah, or that, or sometimes they just kind of get into a super slow mode and they're not sure and they kind of not really form an ice bud. And then you're like, dude, indoor it was those egg shaped 50 days, super quick, dense as fuck. Like, really, everything was easy with them. You put them outdoor and they're like, ooh, it's cold. Ooh, can I get a blanket? Ooh. I'm like, dude, do you know that I had some freaking tropical stuff and you put it there and they make up better with the frost that some of your Amsterdam adapted indoor never, because the stuff they started with may have been kind of resistant, but they've never went for
it's
the
it's
resistance on
very
a lot of them.
it's very rare that you'll find an indoor strain that will happily go back outdoors.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't
Well,
they
it
don't like they
happened,
don't
but yeah, you need to know
it
a
does
bit what.
happen, but it's not
Yeah,
very often. It's
yeah.
not, and they're not usually happy about it. You gotta be
Sometimes you can
cross.
use it to kind of up a bit some quality again, or bring up more the THC than the CBD again, or bud structure a bit different, or whatever. You can try to bring some, but I would go with the kind of half sibling kind of pattern to get mostly of your adapted strain with just the trait you want at the new one. Yeah. But yeah, there was some good article by the American one that he was sharing around about it, the all sibling kind of breeding, to not go too much into inbreeding depression, and the coefficient of inbreeding is not too high. So yeah, so you don't bottleneck too much your things. You can still find the trait you want from different line of it. That's a you know that's a good way to go with a kind of hybrid situation. But yeah, man, I was really looking at the other day at some stuff I've heard back then, and honestly, in the new autoflower, I don't know. I don't know. I've not tried any of those things for years, but I have to tell you that by cleaning stuff, we found some things that were about 10 years old, and they will be refreshed. Because we were like, dude, there's a freak show, there's a ABC. Who did the autoflower purple version of it? Hey, wait a minute, I got a purple autoflower. We tried to refresh it so in case of someone want to do that kind of a of project. So yeah, that's one of the thing I was finding quite interesting. It's an old mix, if I remember. It's Masi, the breeder that did the Afghan little fuck cross with different things. And the number 5 where I've been gift to a guy and he crossed it, if I remember, with Blackjack from Sweet Seeds.
Oh yeah.
And and then selected for to have it to flower or whatever. And that was called the Stone Dragon. Uh, I don't like the taste, but it wasn't bad structure. Like it's a short, chubby, chunky plant, kind of really Afghani looking, with a fat top on it. Uh, I I just remember an hybrid of it that was tried outdoor, and they were not super good. But the goal will be to get something like really more resistant or more traditional strain for outdoor and cross it with to get something out of flower with the twist of the old school stuff, maybe more resistant. See if we could go on that old school auto flower look, let's say though. I don't know. It's just project that I'm writing on. Uh, who got that? Who got that? What who can do with that? How we would do that? Sometimes it's good to think about it and see if you could go to your result into a logical time frame. Because I mean, I use it to see if the first year I'm trying, the second year I'm seeing my result. If the third year there's not something conclusive of it, I'm out with that project. I
True.
don't spend a third year more than But no, yeah, I just think there's a bit of a lack of that kind of thing. Stop,
Well,
please, saying that auto flower for outdoor.
I
Maybe
see.
down south, but it's not always the best. They
No,
can be good, but
I
not the
think they
best.
could.
If you're in Canada and you're a
They,
new
Yeah,
grower, it's
yeah,
gonna be the easiest way to.
yeah, it's
totally,
easy.
totally. It's
Yeah,
like
but they are just
I.
like not reliable to know like how big your plant's gonna be, or will you
Oh
get a
no,
good one on that variety? That's
there's
just about
literally
that.
no reliability in them. They're everywhere. There you'll
If
get
you can
some that are
plant
like little
20
dwarfs, and you'll get
seeds,
some that are 7 feet tall. Like
yeah.
and then like I find the biggest thing with them is the you don't get this if they're good smoke, they have terrible structure, and that's what I find. It just like
Outdoor, some of those that were bred, at least those that like I use it to collect. Sometimes you're having that I would call it that loose popcorn structure, a bit like the some Afghani can do
but
weirdly, but
they
yeah,
they've
they were not
they have
nice.
such a they also have such a bum rap, and they've caught this bum rap from Lowrider, and it was just because it was all something we were looking for, something that was low profile, grew a decent amount of fucking bud immediately, require special lighting, So we all jumped on it, and we all got kind of hoodwinked by the first version of
But
this thing that
now
came
I
out.
honestly seen Mighty Might plant in a 5-inch pot, looking way better than a lowrider. So what I did
I
that
agree.
time,
I
I've
agree.
dude, I've ordered a pack and gifted to one of my friends. That's the first thing I did when I've looked at some picture. I was like, hey, dude, that's the same Mighty Might, dude. Dude, I got something for you. And my friend was like, well, is that better than the old school autoflower stuff that you were talking about? I'm like, dude, that was the
But like,
autoflower before it called autoflower, and those things you could put them indoor in your bedroom. So Mighty Might will still finish it at 16 hours of light. They'll be bigger, but they will finish.
true.
Like as soon they are 15 hours of light, they really want to go into flower. Like you cannot stop them. So yeah, otherwise, like I was just like, dude, that's one of the thing that what's the trigger point of the plant? How many breeder are breeding toward that kind of thing? That's the old school stuff. That's one of the things some older people have brain with or have not keep like some note about that and try to understand sometime. I mean, I've seen people having tropical variety that they were able to make across and adapt it here better than the people that were trying to have some Afghani stuff. Some Afghani were going well, some other they were just kind of soft and molding and whatever. But man, like the Durban, like people were tripping on the Durban because it was triggering earlier than a lot of tropical strain, right? And I guess the flavor was unique and not too loud. But I'm like, why we don't see as much of those early triggering plants? People don't talk necessarily about that trait and variety. Like I cannot see the difference that much with the hours of light there is over there, but we, in Canada we got 16 hours of light 21 of June for a lot of the country, so
Exactly. That's why that is good autoflower there.
you got it's close to 17.
Yeah, yeah, close to 7.
Yeah, I was looking at that. It's like some people are thinking that it's made up those hours of light that they suggest. It's not made up. It's just that if you put a plant up north and it have 17 hours of light, sure it gonna get big and vigorous. Some don't care and still get the same size. I find it really funny when I've heard about that thing. Some just don't react that much about the hours of light. They like, yeah, okay, they get 4 more. Yeah, but they don't get that much bigger. They may have a better yield, but they won't be that much bigger before. Have you seen a big difference in like, let's see, if you have a plant that you put outdoor and totally unknown variety, you just put a couple plants, I mean, outdoor. Do you have seen a difference in kind of bud structure or leaf that
Morphology, 100.
something that was more looking more resistant than another?
Um, 100%, 100%. They don't even look like the same plant. If you grow the same clone in your grow room, and take that clone outside and grow it outside. I don't even think it's the same plant. They might look. Yeah, no, I don't. Not at all.
What you got there? Oh, you got the Barcelona. So tell me about that Spanibius. There's something I don't understand. Athena is the best nutriment. Like how can you judge it? Is it like, oh, it's the one that it's the most bland? Oh yeah, no, I can recognize that nutriment in every variety. We'll vote for that one. Is it that? I don't know. I don't want to speak against that one,
I
but that's
just
what I've seen with other Nutriment. So
I didn't hear about this. Infamous is in chat. I got his shirt on. Um, the there's a bunch of raids at social clubs right before Spanibus, which is pretty nuts. Interesting. That's crazy.
yeah, the
Raids, some raiding.
Well, Spain usually they're pretty hands off. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
like
no, they're usually fairly liberal about it. I thought you're allowed to have home.
as Spanibus has been go. I mean, I've been to Spanibus before. It's a pretty chill event. So I'm really baffled as to why they're being canceled.
it's not the Spanibus itself that I've seen about
No,
the
it's
raid. It's
just
the
local dispensary.
yeah, they wanted to be sure that you cannot buy from there. If I remember, you have to bring stuff from outdoor. Well, I don't know how it work over there, man. But yeah, whatever. All those law, man, it's really confusing. Yeah, I don't know how I would be able to navigate through it. Just ask the local, can I smoke here? So what's the news you've seen about that? Because man, that's the only thing I've seen. The few company that were winning. But when I've looked at the past year, I mean, I think there was one that was it uh rounds
And
that have won?
15 clubs got hit. 15 plus clubs got hit in raids.
Yeah, Chilbart was talking about that the other day that they've asked the passport, whatever, a few things, but they did not had much trouble.
I don't know. There's also like a point where you just kind of get used to the harassment. Having worked in many different continents now for weed, like you kind of just expect it.
Right,
You're
that it.
kind of better off everywhere just acting like it's still illegal.
Yeah, or just be chill and be like, yeah, it's not a thing. Like, I don't know. I've gone through checkpoints and airports with all kinds of shit with paperwork and gotten the fifth degree. So, especially like after COVID, when COVID hit, coming back out of Zim, that was fun.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh no, he come from an African country. How many disease he got? I don't know. He must be like Mr. Byrne. All the disease are fighting each other."
Yep, that's the key.
That's the key. Catch the
Burn
most disease
syndrome.
possible at the same time, but be synchro.
Yep, they're all trying to get through the door.
Man, it have teach me a lot about medicine and the Simpson. I mean, I've learned how to take weight. You take a paper, rub your foot against it. If you go transparent, you can eat it. It should be safe. You're gonna take weight with it. So yeah, yeah, and I think I need that balance kind of bird. Yeah. To work from home, That was the pre-COVID stuff, man. But he needed to be fat to work from home. And we did not even had to get COVID to work from home. They really wanted us to be from home. But there's a thing that I've not understood. How a farmer work from home if you don't have that AI tractor and that AI immigrant worker and that I don't know, is there AI for everything? We can just work from home. Can you tell the AI pest to give a break to my AI harvest? I don't know. Is th- is there one for that?
Here's what happens when they all try to get through the door at once. Move it, shout ahead. We call it three syndrome.
We call it the Three Stooge syndrome.
We should do like a viewing of like Oddville or some shit. Like you ever watch like Oddville's the best. You want to freak? That's like it's great. Like you want to see some like the most '90s shit you've ever seen.
Here's your host, Greg Hope. So, it's comfortable on the feet.
Like intro.
Hello, Mr. Attell.
Frank, how
Hotel.
Now you,
Excessive.
I'd say
That
Mel.
guy's been
I
doing this.
really
He started off as a public access TV show back in the late '80s.
Dave Attell.
Photos. Apparently, I disconnected. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Talking to myself.
No, no.
No, we're still alive. Oh, only that.
So you got like this is a public access TV show, and you got these old vaudevillian dudes who are like in their waning golden years, and like half dead. Dudes playing fucking saws. Contortionist,
Hey, you skipped the
weird
best
puppet
part.
shit,
But
playing
she
a piece
was
of
a
paper. This
contortionist.
guy
What?
like belches the alphabet.
Yeah, that's a
So
skill
it's like
needed
this
to go in
weird
high school.
variety show with a
Dude, that
band at
dude
the
just
end.
threw up in his mouth a little bit.
Yeah, and then there's like a dancing monkey and shit. Like it's fucking great. It's like the weirdest like train wreck of a 90s TV show. But there's like lots of episodes of these and they're all great. Like there's a bunch
Mel,
of bands in the
just
90s
drop
that were on the
3
show
drop and
before
acid
they
and you go
became
there.
famous. So if you want something to put on when you're smoking, it's like a weird thing to put on.
I think
What you
that
guys
one
been
is good for
watching lately?
acid, not just smoke, man.
Shogun's really
Being on
good.
that show on acid, that would be the best trip ever, dude. You're like, is that real? I don't know, but that's funny.
Shogun's been really good lately, and we watched The Gentleman. If you haven't seen The Gentleman yet, it's very good. It's about like an English lord who has like a secret weed grow operation and like all the crazy shit. It's kind of like a British version of Weeds if it was like about lords.
Blood smoking.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Highly recommend.
Yeah, is there someone in the chat that would say there's a strain, a pure variety that was adapted for outdoor up north that they knew of? They would bet on that thing as their next thing in the garden. Just curious if anyone get suggestion. Try to look on those. What they were special for. There was a Jay from Next Generation that was saying about the bunker, but the bunker wasn't a pure strain, but it was a mix of different things and it was working. That was one of those short but really chunky nog on it. Like they were short and bushy, really big beefy flower on it. But yeah, when he went in Spain, if I remember, it was off. But there was a Mighty Might guys. Do you remember how many crusts they had?
No, I don't. I do remember. Oh, I do remember Mighty Mighty and all the things.
Well, in the first few years of what was before cannabis culture, it was cannabis in Canada, and then cannabis culture. They were in the first few years, but I'm not sure if at the end they were really legit. Because at one point I think everything was crossed with Might and Might and was sold under their name, but they were maybe no longer selling anything, kind of thing, you know. Like, hey, those guys don't restock anything. Well, let's relaunch a bunch of cross with theirs, trying to look like
We
that.
got all these ones over here to get rid of anyway. So
Yeah, that looked like that. But yeah, that was kind of funny. Uh, I just remembered few of it, but I found the pile of old magazine I had about that. I don't have all the magazine, but I just have one box of it. So few old item and cannabis culture when Mark Emery was selling bunch of grass and seeds. Some were legit, some not. Yeah, yeah. I have to say some were really legit, but not every year, not all. They've been sorry, but now we know. Not everything was what was supposed to be. That happened. But yeah, their cheap mix, like a kind of it was like the indoor mix, Mark Emery indoor mix. Dude, I've not seen anything bad in that. This was like the super cheap pack if you're not sure you're gonna order that kind of thing. But when I heard that, I think it's the ABC that was and the Duckfoot that was gift one or the other that was gift if you had a
Emery
subscription. I've never took a subscription and had seed from him, so maybe I should have.
Emery was the first to get both of those
Yeah.
back in the day that I'm aware of.
But what was the other Australian strain? Was it Australian bushweed or something like that? Bushman weed? I don't remember. But
I don't know.
Hey,
You know who would
there was
know is
another
Green Spoon.
strain.
It wasn't
we should get
Green Spoon from over there.
no. You know who would know that we should get on the
No.
show one day? Who I always love to talk to with Heavy Days. We should totally get Heavy Days on the show sometime.
Word.
He's been a good friend of the show for many. And if you ever need a moderator for a cannabis thing, like, oh my God, the dude is like the best fucking moderator for a panel that I've ever seen. It'd be great.
I cannot be moderator. I think I got a ban on it for a while.
It
Yeah,
was
I
nice
try
to
to
see
behave, but
Panax.
that's
Dan
hard to
Panax
behave.
is finally banned from the YouTube, the Reddit aquaponics panel. No, Dan Panax cunts can no longer post their garbage.
I have to ask, who have won the most hated last show? I wanted to watch before the show. I really forget.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
I was really busy at doing anything else but that.
As far as I know,
Hey,
I only got votes. You and me voted for ourselves.
yeah, I don't remember who won. I think Evil Deadly Fart was winning there at the end, but I don't
I should
remember
have
who had
never
won it
voted for
because
myself.
I know that I wasn't lose. I was not winning. I had the least amount by a couple of votes.
Yeah, but you've not
Um,
even voted for yourself, man. That's not fair. You.
I did
Oh.
vote for myself. I was the first vote for myself. Give me that shit.
The guy is using
Kanatai,
4 different accounts to vote against us.
Kanatai, oh, we know who that was. I think his name starts with F.
Oh, dude, you know that
Um,
won't be. He hates me the most. I don't know
does
why,
he
but
hate? I feel like he hates me more. I feel like
I don't know. I
maybe.
don't know. He's referred to me as a Caribbean fuckhead. Uh,
Oh yeah. Well, at
Well,
least we don't support genocide on this show. Um,
Shit, dude. CTS is public enemy number one everywhere. So for some reason,
well, fuck humidor. Kanatai, we had a question from chat. It says, "What is the high like with the temple ties?"
the highlight of the Buddha Thai Massive.
Yeah, when you smoke it, what? Tell us about it.
It's creeper. It's kind of a creeper effect. I tell you that. My wife digs it. I dig it. I got banana, but on these last, it was weird because I've seen peach on the first round, but there was
The ones, the
so
ones
many
that we
beans
smoked
on
were
it.
peachy.
Yeah, but I couldn't give it justice because it was packed with beans. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, you know what I'm saying? But it's
Yeah,
still,
but sometimes you get a different profile. Like when I had Ross the Jeff on my show, he talked about this a lot too. How like when you take a strain and you flower it, the seed production, it makes different terpene profiles to like preserve the seeds and to protect them
Huh.
from like mold and shit. So you'll get like a different chemovar expression from the same phenotype than you will if it doesn't have seed, because it's still trying to attract pollen and pollinators. So it gets like a
Right.
different chemovar profile.
And I've always found like each individual calyx that been pollinated,
You know,
they swell and get more mature than if you have an unpollinated flower. Yeah, it look more amazing, everything, but each of those pods are not necessarily all swollen and mature like they could be like when they. I don't say they are stronger, but they have a different taste. There's
I
something
believe
different about it.
Mila and Frenchie both said that hash made needed, uh, like different, more full, more everything they were marked. They were marked.
Well, to me, it was a bit more like a, when you get cheap incense, it's that really loud in your face kind of here's that like unique kind of terpene that have been punched on the stick and really crap things. If you got the real stick of incense, it it's sweeter but have more deepness into it, more complexity, more there's everything you're gonna smell that thing different, like a big whiff, and oh, I smell something different than going slowly. And I think there's something about that when you have like a seeded flower, you will get less of those maybe volatile terpene. I'm not sure, but for sure the seeded flower, if it's not super seeded, like if it's slightly seeded, it doesn't affect too much really the potency. Like if you have like a
Yeah,
2-3 seeds by
although
gram, they are not
I do
crazy.
expect a seeded trichome to be a little riper than say let's say one that's I think people tend to leave it a little longer when they're making.
Your mic is drooping
We can
Is it
altogether.
barely
bad
hear
again?
you. Your audio
Sorry.
is cut. I
Maybe you
found
have the
some.
soundboard on.
I just wanted to. I wanted to point this bullshit out. Fuck Kamala Harris. She was talking about how
Uh,
the federal government restrictions need to fucking go. Bitch put a bunch of people in jail just
oh,
for
a
weed.
ton of people in jail.
Also
That was how she made her name. Her career
denied
was
exonerating evidence for a dude on death row. Like
uh,
she's a piece of shit. She was a DA in California. Fuck her, dude. She has no right to say anything about this shit. She's calling non-classification of weed absurd. Bitch, you put people in jail for weed. How you gonna say that shit? She needs to be
and fuck
replaced.
Fat Joe for collabing with her on it.
Yeah, how you gonna have a DA prosecutor in the year of fucking George Floyd, like when this election went down last time? Like how tone deaf are you? Um, there's a huge court fight in New York that's like potentially has federal ramifications because there was some CBD shops that had some THCA in them, and they got federally prosecuted on this because of the state of New York like escalated charges to the feds. And they were like, well, we're federally compliant. Fuck you. And the judge ruled that like it needs to all get figured out before anyone can be prosecuted because it's not currently it's too ambiguous. So it actually could like threw a huge wrench in any current prosecutorial things across the country on that space. So that's pretty interesting once that all shakes out. Also, on a separate note, the feds look like they're going to legalize in the next 30 to 60 days. So expect a federal legalization. I'll probably schedule three. Maybe something else, but probably schedule three. Um, so that's going to fuck up the whole market in a good way. It might give everything over to corporate companies that can afford to switch over. So we'll see. It could be very bad. It could also be like federal legalization of everybody that's currently operating is allowed to continue operating, which is probably more realistic, but nobody really knows. So we'll see how it all shakes out.
I know they kind of when they did it up here, they kind of said "fuck you" to all the people that were trying to do it semi-legally at the time.
Yeah.
Well, the big goal is to control the access and then cash on that, right? The
Well,
I've
Oklahoma,
never seen it. The goal was never been to be like a, oh guys, you do that? Oh yeah, okay, you fight it long enough. We'll give it to you. No, it's not like that. They want it all
Oklahoma
now.
had almost 10,000 cultivation licenses there at the height of it, and then now they're down to 4,000 something because they cut back on the licensures and stuff. So, and that the Oklahoma basically crashed the black market of the United States. There was so much production going on between the West Coast's overregulation and Oklahoma's non-regulation that the black market, went from $2,000 or $3,000 a pound on the East Coast to, 1,200 to 1,500. Although it's gone up a bit. It's about 12, 1,400 right now. So that's interesting to kind of see the prices fluctuate, how different legal actions affect the price on the black market and the white market for that matter.
Great. No, that's interesting.
Also, Cali is no longer king of weed. I thought this was funny. There's an article. California is notoriously strong weed is suddenly getting weaker. So Cali has got like no longer
No,
a good.
more like their testing has got more accurate or more
Well, the testing's
consistent.
gotten more accurate, but all the dude bros like crossbreeding the bullshit is just making garbage. And all the corporate
Wait,
dude bros.
If you not if cross everything with cookies.
A 7% reduction in total THC in the last few months, 3 months. So, what else did I pull? I pulled a couple. Yeah. So they started, and then we've talked about this before, but like they're actually testing vapes now. So they're finding that all those terpenes, which are solvents, are dissolving the metal heating coils,
Ah,
the
nice.
zinc
I
and
bet
the
the
lead
lemon
heating
ones are
coils in
real
the
good at
vapes.
it.
Well, yeah, anything lemony is gonna burn through that shit, but like many different terpenes are highly caustic, so they're finding them. There's two separate articles on the heavy metal nanotoxins in
Ah,
vape
sweet,
pens.
sweet.
So it's pretty
Well,
wild.
that's what I figured. But though, gotta figure it's disposable cartridge. It's gonna be made fairly cheap.
And you
And
got Maine wants to let utilities report power surges to the police for illegal cannabis grows. So that's fact. Although we knew that was happening. And then weird news article of the week: suspect throws homemade bomb at Tacoma cannabis shop. You don't see cannabis shop bombings very often. So that was pretty funny.
Man, I've heard
You
about a
bomb.
thing in Thailand that a guy went to smoke meth with the monk, and like the monk have smoked meth and stuff, whatever. But the guy after that tried to stab the monk, and then they kind of close him in a room, and the guy was trying to just destroy everything around and being completely berserk, and he broke a, a Buddha statue and just felt on it and impaled himself, and he died. So
Wow. There
yeah,
was a
that
dude the
was
other
like
day.
the weirdest thing I've heard this week.
There was a New Zealand tourist that like wrecked the crap. Like he was like 6'5" or 6'6" versus like a Thai cop. So like the Thai cop just got wrecked because he was like 40% of the size of this guy. and then they're like all pressing charges against him. Like, well, that guy's gonna spend time in Thai jail, but like it was just kind of funny. It was like watching Mike Tyson fight like a fifth grader, right? Like in the video.
Like it's gonna happen to Jake Paul.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, well, that's another one. Like Jake, have you seen any of the training videos of Mike Tyson? Like Jake Paul is not even remotely close to that level. Like Mike
I just
Tyson could
want
be
to see
60% of the fucking UFC right now, like in his current condition. Like he is so fast, even at fucking 50
uh,
whatever. Like
have you seen how we attack the sandbag? Like when they say go, bang bang. Oh, dude, that that's like having a bull charging on you, and he's able to punch you at the same time. I mean, if you're not hit by both of his hand, you're gonna get his forehead and your face and just drop. I don't know, but no, I bet everything on Mike Tyson, and if he lose, well, I'll be really sad because I don't know what I just bet.
I'm still, I'll never forget though when Mike Tyson was on the interview with Barbara Walters. It's like she's like, "What's the best punch you ever threw?" And he sits there and he thinks about it for a minute. He's like, "When I punched my second ex-wife." You're like, Jesus Christ, dude! Like what the fuck? And
How
like
Big was
the
asking,
reason why
where
it
the
was
mil?
funny was the look of sheer shock on Barbara Walters of all people. Ladies interviewed like dictators and despots, and like that shocked her more than a fucking like Gaddafi interview.
Big was asking the terpene that dissolved the metal. I would say, man, there's not only
A
that,
lot of them
it's the
do.
condition that they make it in doesn't tell you that like everything have been taken into consideration to avoid it.
It's
Have they
basically this
tested
simple.
before?
If it's a metal heating unit, it's got heavy metals. Like the only safe ones for vape carts are the ceramic ones because there's no metal on oil contact, right? It's just the ceramic.
Yeah, the one I got is just like an element under the glass stuff. Yeah.
Shout out to some new subscribers. We got a couple during the episode. Welcome. But, yeah, man. There's something I was gonna ask Kanata, and now I forget.
Yo, but see the odds are favored for Jake Paul. They actually have odds favored Vegas scoring.
I don't know of anyone that have said that Jake
I
Paul should be the favorite. I don't know a favorite of who, but I've seen him go on few show, um, yeah, promoting that combat. I don't know, man.
I don't know if he goes down. That fucking nice.
But that to me, it's more like a big event than a real fight.
That's
It's more for the happening than the fight itself. And Mike Tyson, I mean, I don't know if he's really making that much money around it, but I think, yeah, he's
Pay to watch.
mostly fighting now just that with that kind of event that, what was that guy that he had fight before and they've organized another fight and yeah.
how much do
Can
you
we?
think? How much do you think that? You remember he bought that bathtub with that fucking chick that he wanted that the, with that that model.
Why can't
Um,
we get like Mike Tyson fighting like Matthew Gates, like a pedophile, like just fucking off with their head. Like, I want to see him turn fucked up people into bobbleheads. That's what I want to see. Like, I would pay money for that. I pay pay-per-view once a month for that. Mike
that'd be
Tyson
pretty.
versus.
Dude, we used to have that. We used to like. Remember when they used to yoke him in the town center, leave him there for kids to throw rocks at.
Right?
The people
can't
just
we-
want to see Tyson just that uppercut. They just want to see him just knock people. That's what it is.
Yeah, but here's the deal:
I miss
is he
it.
gonna sit there and toy with him, or is he actually gonna fight him? 'Cause if he's
No, he's
actually
gonna
gonna
have
fight
to.
him, Jake
Who are you
Paul's
talking
gonna
about? You
get
talking about
fucking
Tyson?
rocked.
Yeah,
Like
Tyson
Mike
against
Tyson's gonna
Jake Paul.
destroy that kid. It's not even. They're not on the same level. They're not even close to the same skill level. It's like
I
not,
believe
not
Tyson, he don't want to make it nothing. He wants to go in there and knock dude out and then get out of the ring.
hopefully.
I don't think so. If he starts dancing around and does that's that's a fixed fight. That's what I say. If he's gonna, Tyson, he just comes in and he gonna haymaker you, and that's it. That's what he's looking to take your head off, and that's all he wants.
Apparently Tyson's getting 20 million.
20 million. Well, then it sounds like I think he's gonna definitely be headhunting. That's what's for 20 mil. I'd be headhunting.
Well, will you be asked to lose for 20 million against a youngster and say, okay, I give you the puck?
I tell him, show me where to sign. I do whatever you want. 20 million, whatever. You could go. I even lose a few teeth for 20 million. That's no problem.
A million a teeth, man. You're gonna have a really pretty smile after. Which
Yeah, I
one
am
will
with the new fucking
Hold on,
teeth I'm
hold on.
buying. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, they're gonna be
For
beauty.
anyone that
What are you
for anyone
talking about?
I got plans.
Fight them, I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
Are you saying now, Mike?
Right? Are you gonna fuck with a dude who's gonna eat your kids? Like, good luck, dude. Not only that, but the man can punch harder than like 99.8% of the human population.
So that's before he turned vegan, or did he?
was
No.
Was
Even
Hol-
in geriatric old age
was
now,
Holyfield's
he can
ear the
still
last
fuck up
thing,
like
last media
90%
game,
of
or
the
what?
human population. Like, not even trying. Right? Like, I don't give a fuck who. Like, Jake Paul's gonna get fucking his fucking bell rung. That's what's gonna happen.
And
I
if
sure
you
hope
ever
so.
wonder why he was talking with his jaw so knock, well, the coke was good. That's what I've heard on one of his podcasts. That he was
I
saying like
just,
he was just sometimes really so fucking high that his jaw was not moving. It
I
was
wish
like
they'd
kind
bring
of
Pride
locked.
back. That's what they need to do is bring Pride back. Pride was the best of there was. In terms of
I
content.
agree. Pride was the best. Yeah, that used to be crazy. Pride, yeah.
If you're into UFC and shit, go back and watch the Pride fights. It makes UFC
Yeah.
look tame.
Dude, all the
It's
legends fought Pride. All the legends, really, all the fuck. Yeah, that was definitely the
like
shit.
just to give you a difference between that UFC, Wanderlei Silva literally kicked a man's skull in with his knees on live TV.
Yeah,
Yes.
do I believe though over the one
They were
over
well.
that Pride that was like no nut shots, but other than that, dude, I think you could kick it down
Pretty
person.
much,
They didn't give a shit.
pretty much
Yeah,
anything
you
else
just
went.
yeah and you could no fish hook, no ball shots, no fish hook, and no eye gouge. Other than that, it was fair game.
Wide, yeah,
You had to
pretty well
protect
wide open.
yourself at all times, like literally all times. You better your knees down or a hands down. They're still gonna grill you.
So no wedgie.
Oh, you can wedgie all
Ready,
you
ready,
want.
watch this shit. This is shit you cannot do in the UFC. Ready? Face stop, face stop, face stop,
Yeah.
stop.
Ouch.
Bruce Lee is out.
Good night. Yeah. You can't do that shit in the UFC.
No,
Stomp on the ground like to finish him off.
no.
Like they have
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's
straight knees to the head there. Like, it was wild.
Well,
yeah, like Wanderlei Silva also was like one of the best that ever fought too, but
Yeah, the matchups in that
the other
fight
one,
was dope.
the
You
other
had all the old school.
was ECW, watching people jump like off the fucking scaffolding and fucking third floor balconies of arenas over railings and shit, barbed wire. Like these guys fucking earned that shit. Actually, I knew Taz. His girlfriend lived across the street from me when I was a kid. We used to
the
go to
cable
these
cannot
like
hold it.
dudes off of ladders on barbed wire and shit. They don't do this shit anymore. Like, go back and watch some UFC fights if you want to see some crazy shit. Like multiple tables. Like there's Sabu. I knew all those dudes. They're fucking great, man. Like here's what here you go. Like, when's the last time you saw some shit like a flaming fucking table? You don't see
Flaming
Get thrown on
dumpster
it.
fight.
it
Nice.
anymore, right? Like
Ooh.
so much better than we were when we were kids. Everything's so fucking tame now.
Yeah.
Are you saying that the insurance company no
Now they
longer
just
cover
distract
it?
you. They just distract you with big boobies now. You know,
Only that? Oh.
pretty much no storyline anymore. No, showmanship is gone.
I'm not sure we watched the same series, but yeah, maybe the end is the same. Yeah, well, I don't watch those series on Netflix or whatever, so I cannot tell you. What was that? Yeah, hard one that people were saying it was violent and there was a explicit sexual scene. I was like, and people pay for that, okay, because they don't want to show it on TV, and it's one of the most popular stuff. And who's shocked now? Okay, whatever. I don't know.
Like hold on, I gotta show you this. Like this is the kind of shit that was great back in the day. Like, right?
Here's the
Like
Ouch.
that shit doesn't happen
yeah, I know.
anymore.
That's like they're all employees. Like like where's OH best? Like
OSHA was not present there. Let me just
like
tell you.
You know the lunchroom in the school. It looked like the exact same type of table that we had. So it just make me think at the high school
oh, no
going
matter,
wide.
even if they were pre-cut, you know how fucking bad those would hurt. Like even if those tables were pre-cut to break, like
The
they would
I
hurt so
I
fucking
don't
bad
wait
anyways.
enough to be slammed on one, and on the number of table I've seen get broken there, it's more than one. I don't want to try, dude. Like those guys are weighing like 200 something pound, and even then it must hurt us hell because they will hit the
Yep.
ground at one point, and oh man, I just hope that their head is still up and not swinging on the ground because it must be like concrete or I don't know, man. Even if you put a rubber pad, it's not enough. Your head gonna swing and woohoo, you're gonna see some star, man. Yeah, there was a show that I remember in a cage. Oh man, that's not that many years ago. That the guy got injured pretty bad, and they've cut the show live. I was watching that show. I was like, oh, what the hell have happened? I'm not sure if the guy died or if he had really bad injury. I'm not sure, but they've cut the show on air right away. Like the guys drop and whoop, they pass on the commentary and then commercial. It was done.
What are you guys growing right now? Your gardens.
Oh, I was
I'm growing.
thinking at some other flower for the major, but I don't know what can happen with that. The major always tell me about the other flower. They are the best, man. They are the best. Well, the best of the worst. Maybe he's not in love anymore with them. So I'm like, well, I found some tiny, tiny, tiny of the flower. If I remember, if you're lucky, you get an eighth of it. Maybe a bit, maybe a quarter. I'm not sure, but you did not have much, man. Um, so, yeah, I was just having fun putting it aside. And, well, I got some old pepper seeds that I found. Um, I'm not sure if they are my long red pepper, sweet pepper, or if they are spicy one. But I'm pretty sure I'll discover that as soon they're gonna be a bit bigger. Because I've had a big bag with like four or five different pepper. They were all different shape, and the seed just got thrown in one bag, being four seeds. But being really old, some of the pepper just broke down, and there's loose seeds. So I just took a couple of those loose seeds. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than that, I'm trying to get some purple beans of different type just for the kick of it. I've just found they have a better taste than the green one in general. I like the yellow or the purple, so yeah, I'm pretty much into that. And some deal. Yeah, I think I was saying that the other day. I got some mammoth deal. They're supposed to be pretty big, so I'll be able to get some nice shit with it. What's the type of spice you're having with? Do you have any pepper seeds or stuff like that you've got?
I do have a bunch of pepper seeds, but I haven't started anything lately. I have a bunch of them. I got nothing. Well, no, I have like nothing compared to like potent. I got like I don't know some. I got some. I have some. The what are they? I'll just grab them. Uh, uh, Scorpion tea. Scorpion tea. Some Butch Scorpion tea. Trinidad. From Trinidad. Um, I have those explosive ones, the ones that they recommended for a companion plant for if you had fallacies, I think I say it. And they switched back from spider mites pollen, so or spider mite egg pollen. Uh, when the food source dries up. So I those that was the those are I've been meaning to get those going so that I can keep live beneficials in the grow at all times.
Oh, you make me think. I have to see if I got some seeds that could be viable of the little blue. It's one of those small bush. It's supposed to be decorative, but you can eat them. They are spicy and stuff. The seeds are pretty big. The seeds are big like a sweet pepper, like kind of bell pepper. But the pepper itself, it's maybe big like the tip of your finger, and it gets red when it's really mature, but it starts purple. And the foliage, most of them were kind of purplish, with some more green than other. But when I was testing, like maybe 20 of them, was two of them that have resist frost really well and had a really good production. And I'm not sure. I think I got seeds of those. Um, and what was interesting of that one was that even if you keep it for years, it's still always 1 or 2 feet tall, like 2.5 max. I've seen, and then it was kind of reverting at one point because my friend was just leaving it in one kind of. I think it was a 10-inch pot or something like that. If end up keeping it for like 6, 7 years. And most of the people I know about after that time were like just Okay, we had it long enough. But the thing I find it practical for that is when you did a test like we did, have the more resistant one and growing seeds from them, is that you keep the same plant that produce those seeds that are more resistant. So for years you can plant seeds from that one, because that one won't be necessarily the most vigorous one. But I've not tried to clone them. I remember trying to do some, but I had a so success with it. It wasn't the easiest thing I found to clone. I was just not caring enough to, but uh, yeah, I was curious because I've seen people doing that with basil. They were keeping the one that they were liking the most aside to have some seeds from it and cloning it to when it was in veg to keep it in veg. Doesn't worth it that much, but it's funny. You can do it with basil. Yeah, I've found that some chive that was in a river at one point, and so that's the best chive I never had. You know when you get those chive and sour cream?
Yep.
Well, that will be the most perfect one because it have a bit more of that onion, garlic into it, you know. Because most of what they sell, I would say it's more doesn't have as much character than that. You know, it's not as much garlic. It have a different, more sweet flavor, I would say, more lighter flavor. But yeah, I was like, man, the one I got in my garden is not the same thing. And someone have gifted to me, but it's so funny. You just go fishing and you find the best chive right on a rock growing wild. Yeah, I found some different things like that. You know, when you go on some river that flood on snow, get all the plants from the landscape that people had all over the river that sometimes survive on a rock here and there on the side of the river. So I was going there and find some ornamental from the landscape of people sometimes. Just not searching for that, but I was coming back being with a bucket transferring a few things. Is there anything that survive around your area that you would say that's the best thing to plant and let wildly?
My area or Potent?
Yeah, your place.
My area. Oh, well, chives will survive up here. There's lots of things that'll come back seasonally up here, but
I was thinking maybe you don't have the right soil for that, but you know what is that wild garlic?
I had huge patches of chives and Egyptian walking onions up in Grand Prairie that just came back every year. My neighbor gave me some of his, and they just like flourished there. They were
I've
really
heard
good
of those Egyptian walking onion. Why they call it walking onion? Is it because they kind of
because they
wish like
walk. They walk. They move.
they move themselves?
Yeah, they move.
It's
Walking
that's
onions
like the
take
foreign
over your
onion that wake up and go after
Go
you.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Potent.
walking onions will like take over a whole grow bed. Like they'll get out of control if you neglect them. And so what happens is it grows an onion, and then like at the top of like the little green, it grows another onion, and it gets heavy, and then it droops down to the ground and it roots. So it's like a slinky.
Yeah,
And then
Okay,
it's
so instead of doing a seed pod, it just do another onion on top.
it just clones, keeps going.
but it's cool
Well,
because you can like harvest the young ones off the top for like cooking and stuff. It's really dope.
how long it survive if you just take the small one on top like that? would you be able to grow it few years?
Yeah. So see how it has like little ones? Like
No, it's
here.
green now.
Or like here. See? It's like little onion clusters at the top.
Hold on. Is sharing not turned on?
Hold on,
Oh,
I'm gonna share
go
it. There we go. See how it has like onion clusters at the top?
Oh, they all germ by then.
Yeah, they'll grow at the top. See?
Yeah, they already
these, like,
germ on the
clusters.
top.
Yeah, and then they'll like hit the ground
Fall
and they'll
down.
make a new make a new bulb. But they're super cool. They're like the easiest onion to grow ever in the garden.
So,
Just basically keep them semi-watered.
so you can get me that, Wes? I would
You can
try
order
that
them
thing.
online.
Oh yeah?
Like they're but
Yeah,
they're a great
I
onion.
don't have them anymore, but yeah, like Quentin says, I'm sure you can get them online.
You can eat the greens, you can eat the bulbs. They're like the
I
best
try to
onion.
remember that one. Because,
Yeah.
like, just for a small area, like, if you get a small container, you won't. Well, yeah. And maybe have your onion on a walk every morning.
There's a cool gypsy tomato too that's like let me find it. Traveler's tomato. What's the name of it?
Oh yeah, the one that you can pull apart.
Yeah, you pull it apart and it has like sections. Here it is. This kind. It's like a traveler's tomato and it has like a bunch of little ones fused together and you
Oh,
can like
cool.
cut these off and it like doesn't go bad. It has like another skin on the inside. They're dope.
Those are cool.
Yeah, highly recommend those too. They have like sweet varieties and shit now. Those they're called reason res tomate seeds. Tomato res tomate or traveler's tomato. See? It's like a bunch of little ones fused together, like a bunch of cherries fused together kind of thing. They're yummy. Plus, like you don't have to commit to eating a whole tomato. You know? Like, eat a quarter of a tomato. It's bad.
So, how many of those tomatoes do you make by plant?
The plants are pretty prolific. They make a lot of them. It's just like the once it pollinates, it makes those weird structures.
Because one of my friends gave me some of those big ancestral, was it big
Beefsteak.
beefsteak variety?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's the Peru one, but it's pretty much in that type.
The best.
And there's like maybe 4 or 5 by plant over here. Even if I start them earlier, they don't have really much more than that, but they're big.
The best ones, if you're gonna grow like that kind of tomato, is the black crims and the brandy ones. Those are hands down my favorite for the bigger varieties.
Brandy wine, I remember trying that. Yeah, I guess.
The black crims really are the best. They have like much more flavor. It's like not acidic. Tastes fucking great.
Try that one. Black crims. Yeah, one time I tried those Russian purple prints, and they were one of those tomato plants that are in full sun, they want to wilt. But you put them in the shade and they are good. So I've never understood what was the hell with that, but I really dislike it, that one. Well, I got one Albertan tomato. It's the Subarctic Plenty. Yeah, Subarctic Plenty. That's not the best thing I found out. They were supposed to be cold resistant and this and that. But man, if you got a tiny bit too much magnesium in your soil, um, your tomato will be so freaking strong with that one. It's crazy. Like my my Roma, where I was like, oh, the skin is a bit thick, but it's okay. But a bite on the subarctic plenty, I'm like, holy damn it, man! It's like they were like really, really dense. And I just remember, yeah, they were kind of resistant outdoor, but they are not the most tasty one. So I would be more inclined to go with the Roma tomato. I think I had pretty much the same type of yield. It's like, yeah, once you tried 20 freaking variety, and in fact, what I like with those Roma is just I need some flesh into it. I like the I like the big tomato, but I don't want to get like a, a crate of big tomato every week, you know. So yeah, I was inclined for those smaller one, a bit like cocktail tomato, but
Chat
I
says chat says green zebras and carbon are really good too.
green zebra.
What?
Supreme grape, another one they're saying in chat. We got a bunch of funky ones. Like I think my between the fiance and I, we have like 150 varieties of tomatoes. It's fucking crazy. We have most of Baker Creek's catalog of tomatoes and peppers that I do know.
Well, that's one of the thing with the tomato that if you're really into it, you can make your own hybrid and emasculate some flour and do all that thing. Um, that's what they make do by some people in India and other country where they can, let's say, pay less the people to do that. So they say cross variety 1000 something with the 2000 something. Um, yeah, they just do it and sell you that for what? I think it's a 200,000 a kilo. I mean, that's a lot of money that it's been made in the seeds business. So yeah, if you can at least collect your some of the good variety you like and preserve them yourself instead of buying a big company that pay another guy to do that in the poor country, whatever. There's some of those seeds company that do that. I don't know exactly those names, but I know that it's a big, big thing in tomato seeds. So, yeah, I think it's something that was like, oh yeah, the organic seeds. But the organic seeds, as long they are not modified stuff, if I grow them in organic, they'll be organic. Sure, some variety will be better if they are more used to not being force feed and handle it better like that. But I don't know, man. On the few farm, we tried different variety. Like, oh, it's supposed to be super organic. The other one not, and we're all treating them all certified organic. And there's not many variety that cannot handle it. They are bad for field production anyway. So, and the funny thing is, when you buy in the grocery store, you have those leftover or old seeds or things like that. Well, yeah, just researching a bit on the type of seeds. So what you had, Panic? You were about to say something, I think. Nope.
Well,
Sorry.
Well, I don't know. Are we winding down there?
Yeah. You got some prairie fire and Amish pasta started.
I got some of those prairie fire tomatoes. Those are fucking awesome. Those are from
What?
Baker Creek.
Okay, they are from Baker Creek. And what type of tomato they are, prairie fire? Is it like a big tomato or more of
There
a
you go.
cocktail or?
They're cool. They're different. They're kind of like the atomic grapes they had last year.
Oh, they look a bit like the Italian cross with variegated.
Sorry. They have a lot of cool. These are cool too. I got these last year.
Yeah, yeah. That's those my friend wanted me to try, but
Any of the black varieties or purple varieties are always super good flavored. The anthocyanins are super flavorful.
the few purple one I tried, they were not always good. I just did not try the right one, I think. But like, yeah, that purple prince was really crap. I think I tried one that was supposed to be a kind of a brown tomato with the purplish dot. Um, yeah, they were good, but the plant was not growing good. You know, so sometimes those hype variety it's different than worked variety. I know the atomic stuff. The guy is like picking seeds that are and see if they are kind of sometimes random cross and working them after that. But I remember reading on that guy. He was pretty much into um like he may not know exactly what is the parent of that. He know what he had in his garden, and those one have had a nice mix, and we've developed a bit more the culture from that. That's what I remember about it.
You want to go crazy with the tomatoes? You got like 8.8 pound tomato seeds. Came from two
Yeah,
9 pound parrots.
that's a
Look at
big
that
ass
shit.
burger you gotta make.
70 bucks a pack.
I don't
For
know if
5
you
seeds.
remember the
More
movie that
expensive than weed.
the student were growing those mutant tomato, and the rat beside of eating the tomato, and they invaded the college. The rat were
I have,
growing mutant.
I have some of these 238
40
counts.
seeds for 8 seeds, $40.
I got
Okay.
some of those. I have a 315 pound watermelon seeds too. Yeah, like this one. I have those too. Yeah, I have a thing for giant vegetables. It's like my jam. This is like the best site for pumpkin seeds though. Like 2,749 pound pumpkin.
Fuck.
Yeah. How do you even move that shit?
But I just want to know,
500.
do you need a chainsaw to start to cut it and make some pumpkin
Oh
pie with
yeah.
it?
Or a blowtorch. Good
Oh
blowtorch.
man, that can't taste like nothing. There's no
I'm not sure, man.
like that's just
There's
yeah.
a whole side to this. So they like they make like a grow bed. They like inoculate it, put all the minerals in it, and then let the vine grow in it, and like bury all the vines, so the vines become like root system. The whole vine across the whole plant. It's like really cool when you grow these. Yeah, 350 bucks a seed, 275 bucks a
One
seed.
seed.
One
First seed.
seed.
It better germ.
It's the Guinness Book of World. I mean, it's the biggest one for 2023. So you can charge who the fuck you want.
So, Steve, you should have
Hell
never
yeah.
showed that to all those potheads. Now they will want to sell their clone-only bag seeds at that price. Because
Well,
I mean,
no one's broken 3,000 pounds, and I think in the next 5 years, someone's gonna break 3,000 pounds, which is fucking ridiculous. All these are from Wallace Wildlines. Like all these super giants are from like two breeders, basically on the planet that bred out these giant lines. So
Could aquaponics break the 3,000-pound mark?
I did.
That's the true
We
question.
did
Could
one.
aqua
We got to like 1,100 pounds and it cracked. We had a giant one. We had two of them. One of them got chewed on by rats or mice or some shit. The other one cracked on us, so we had to throw it out. That's the thing is like trying aquaponics, they grow so
Yeah, bro.
fast with limited water. So
Dude, look
Yeah,
at this
yeah.
place, dude.
hard to like
Look at this compound, bro.
yeah, man. Looks like we're at some Samupacon.
man, I don't. I heard some Soviet music in the background when I see those buildings, but it's just me.
Hello, comrade.
Hello, come on. There's a gang of how they call it, those gupnik. There's a gang of gupnik that wait in the corner, man, with and they all squat with their cigarette in their mouth and a bottle of how they call it. There's that liquor they drink over there. Not the vodka, but there's that. I don't remember the malt liquor or something like that.
Hurricane.
No.
Oh, yo. Have
Kev,
you got any have you
Kev,
got any
Kevin?
Sato for what's it called coming up? Songkran is coming up. Get any Sato? Kanatai? Oh, you're
He's on
muted.
mute.
Wet them down. Wet them down.
Kenta, you're on mute. Just
Sato is like this rice whiskey. It's really good. It's kind of like Lao Khao, but it's sweeter. It's like a rural homemade rice alcohol. It's really good though. Like people hand out bottles of it, and it looks like rice water. You drink it, and you're like, you drink two or three of them, you're like, I am shit faced right now, and I'm dancing, and it's like 105 degrees out. Everyone has water guns. I am fucking cannot cool down. I'm gonna go lay down in the air conditioning. They like come down your street with a tractor and like throw water at you. It's fucking fun. The US needs a fucking holiday like Songkran. That's for sure. Also, it's like a fucking 12-day holiday. Like the US needs those too.
I agree. The U.S. does need a holiday like that. I've always thought that that was a big difference between the Caribbean and the U.S. is at the end of slavery, we didn't we put aside a celebration to remember why we never had why we were never going to have slavery again, Carnival, and it's something that you guys didn't really get. Like it kind of came through the islands, like other islands brought it. Like Antigua didn't get it till its carnival till very late, but it was passed island to island, and yeah, but essentially most carnivals are a celebration of the end of slavery, and I think it does a lot to relieve the animosity between different groups. Just getting
yeah,
together,
it's
partying, and having a good time.
you take the first part of the day to remember that, and the second part to do a party with everyone.
Dude, it's just to jump up the whole week.
Yeah, for the rest of the week. We just never stop. Yeah, we'll have to go there, man. How much is a trip to go there? I guess the ticket it must be pretty much direct from here. Oh, well.
From out your way, it's not too bad. It's pretty cheap from out your way. But then
Because you have to transfer over here.
it's not a cheap spot to go vacation by any means. I like you're gonna
There you go.
if you're a baller on a budget, you probably should do Jamaica or fucking Mexico or something. But like it is very beautiful. There's 365 beaches. It's fucking I hope we don't see it crash live.
I was just gonna say, you got a good chance. The other funny thing is, look at the electrical cables where he's
Oh
driving.
man, I know, dude.
It is a fucking comedy show.
Well, I've seen a woman that do some stuff on YouTube. Emma the Traveler, if I remember. She went on at the bazaar and at the Khyber Pass, just and like it was buzzing beside her. Like there was so much cable that wasn't making sense, just cut there or squeeze in between two, and you don't know why it just poke out. And yeah, the cable that you were showing the other day over there was like so many. Yeah, there was so many layer of cable like that the people were walking over.
The reason though is because it costs 10 times as much to put it underground as it does to put it up in the air like that.
Well,
No, but
Thailand
it
is
just look at how
It-
many of
it-
those roll
They're-
of cable you
man.
have.
they're doing that right now in Thailand. There's a whole government initiative to bury
Move
a
it.
lot
Yeah.
of it.
Oh, it like for when you get typhoon. If you're
Like,
able
look
to
at
get
that though. Like,
typhoons or
that's a
hurricanes,
comedy
yeah.
show.
Oh my god,
Look at
that's
how
a
many
fucking
wires
nightmare.
are right there.
Look at that guy. He's trying to
Like
squeeze
how
it.
are they? Yeah.
Like, how are you gonna troubleshoot that?
What
How?
you? Bro,
Okay,
work.
yeah, that intersection. I mean, how the electricity doesn't jump from one corner to the other
Dude,
corner, I'm not sure.
there's one guy and he's like a fucking magician, and for somehow it just worked.
Dude,
Well,
dude, the
we
cable
watched
are
that.
loose.
We
Look at
watched that
how.
electrician like stab the fucking breaker
Yeah, no,
panel in Infamous's house that one episode.
the magnetic field around those wires transfers and raises the other wires up to the right fucking voltage. You see,
So-
it's all part of the fucking.
Like, look at that. Look at
Yo,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
that.
That's what I mean. Like how many roll that are useless, you don't know how many cable are poking
the
out that
thing,
you
when
don't
one
know
of
where
them's
they're
got a
I'm
going.
just gonna tie it
They
off
just
here
run
in case
another one.
anybody
They don't
needs this.
fucking. Yeah, there's no troubleshooting. They just add another line. They're like, fuck all this. I'm not dealing with this. They're like, well, it works here. It works
That's
here. We're
fucking
running
wild.
in between. But the whole
That is
country's like
wild.
that. There's got to be like, you
Dude, the
know,
one over there, kitty corner, is the worst, dude. That one's got like ready, rolled up ones ready to add more shit.
Grab drivers like, fuck this shit. I'm not waiting. This shit's fucking great. I miss Thailand.
I'm not sure where people are supposed to go, but they go somewhere and they don't eat each other for now. I like it. But man, that pole just in front, I mean, I don't know how the pole itself is still standing with the wind over there, but I
All the
guess with all the
wires are
electric
pulling it
fields, yeah,
equally in different directions. So
exactly, it's pulling it.
it's like hovering. Like you could hit that pole with a car, the pole will stay where it is, even if it's severed at the bottom.
Couple times cars have hit them wires, bounce back down.
Yeah, the guys are like all the neighborhood around the power have shut down, but that pole is still standing.
Wild.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. So I just don't know how the cable that rests on each other and cross like that. Um, is it still count like how much loss or I mean, I'm just thinking there must be like half of the electricity they put in those cables that are it just lost.
Yeah, there's a huge amounts. There's huge amounts lost. They have to have banks of transformers to rebuild the power and send it again, and it's still lost. But they're able to they figured out they can do some cool stuff with it with that lost power. They figured out that they can send data within that lost power. Um, and yeah, I don't know. Interesting, anyways.
There's 7-Eleven. There's about 300,000 7-Elevens in the country of Thailand. If we go another 5 minutes, see at least another 7-Eleven, maybe five.
Man, there wasn't. I've never been in a 7-Eleven for years, and then I go out in another province. I'm like, wait a minute, it's all 7-Eleven? They- They're,
No,
they've invaded so many places, yeah.
they have like banging ass chips in Thailand. They have like mayonnaise chips and shit. Those are so good. So many good chips.
I don't know, man. The food in the 7-Eleven
But
was
they
like the
put
last thing I wanted to try.
Burger King puts like fucking chocolate on their burgers in Thailand. It's fucking weird. Like a Hershey's chocolate burger, bacon cheeseburger. Like, why would you do that? You don't put
Um,
sweet
I would say why
bacon on
you do that,
something.
but then I would still try it.
yeah,
I don't
that's
know,
like,
maybe.
yeah, give me one and I'll tell you why. It's because I don't know for
Hey, dude,
now.
there's the mini. That's the mini I fucking T-bone right there.
Why is his tires not deflated? His tires still work. You should fix that.
Yeah, he can get you
Allegedly.
again, bro.
The
Self-preservation.
very least tag it. Mark the
Yeah,
territory.
exactly.
You hit it, it's yours now. Isn't that how it
Yeah,
works?
you mark it up so other people can see it and don't have the same
Yeah, you
problem
gotta
you
put your
did.
gang tags on it. What are you doing?
Vatos locos forever.
Oh, we're going at
Loco
the shop
gringo,
now.
right?
Pinche
Loco
gringo.
ting tong farang. Means crazy foreigner in Thai. Where
What, they just open now? Oh,
yeah.
they're still closed. Open your shop. Hey, what you're waiting?
At any rate,
That's nice.
not as exciting as it was. But that note, I gotta let the dogs out in a second. But I think I'm gonna roll out.
Yeah, I think we should probably just close her off there. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, we'll be more energetic next week. Start to
Yeah,
be like
sorry. I had my chainsaw course today, and
Yeah,
I'm
man.
tired from logging all day. So.
that's all
But
good. Now you're smelling like a chainsaw.
you betcha, Too Short Cologne is strong over here.
That oil is. Yeah, I can recognize the oil of the chainsaw for sure.
You can find me on Potent Ponics, all the things. Also, if you're interested in taking the aquaponics class in May, we're teaching an in-person aquaponics class in Oklahoma. Aquaponicmasterclass.com. If you want to check that out. Also got
Awesome.
beans, Thai beans. Hit me up on Instagram or hit me up on email. Potentponics@gmail. If you're looking
I
for
had to talk to my teammate there, but check this out, dude. I never played with these things.
what is it?
Oh, the freeze
Oh,
dryer.
free sure. Dope.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the little one. Yeah, go for washing your drying your bubble.
Well, if you're
Fuck
alone
yeah, man.
working on that, it's not that
Dude, it's
bad.
sick though, dude. You got everything here, dude. They got like a full grocery store and fucking those. I mean, I'm not like I said, a really indoor guy, but dude, it's actually kind of fun. This is the mother room.
Nice.
And they got whatever shit.
This is like a normal Thai building where it's super vertical. You got the stairs in the back. It's like pretty
CO2
typical.
fucking so the CO2 is right. Here they just cut this. Why is this shit on? Anyways, they just cut these two rooms. Oh, my fucking lights on. My favorite room. This is the hashing room, dude. So ice box in here. It's so cold. And this is like another grow room, but it's being used as a dry room right now. This is Gasper. That's what it's called, Gasper.
I've heard of that strain. Do you know the cross of it?
I don't. I think it's from Greenhouse, Thailand, I believe. I think this is Archon's gear, I believe. Oh wait, no, you know what? I take that back. Maybe not. No, it's not Archon. His is full gas. My bad. Because we just went there and he went and got a couple more cuts of it because he liked the production on it. I mean, it was pretty good too. This beans here. A bunch of different shit from teammates, and
You get some
and
large leaf in the smaller tree, right?
oh, that's Bubba BX, baby. This is Bubba from Toad. This is from Toad, baby.
Oh,
Fucking,
that's a baba.
this is that Bubba Fish BX.
Well, put it in a big pot, man. It like to get roots. It doesn't grow big otherwise.
Yeah, this is I wish, dude. This is a fucking easy bake oven shit. This is like a mini hunt. I'm just gonna take cuts and throw them where the cuts go here. Take cuts and number them and fucking and just flip them in this little mini. Yeah. After this, though, I'm getting a room. So I told him, dude, this is a riot, bro. This is how you hunt, bro. You need a little more room than this to hunt.
Yeah, it's good to start them, but they are good to all transfer right now, like in a triple size spot at least.
Like if you want to hunt, that place where Poe was at was the place to hunt. I told him you need like something with some room to be able to stretch out a little bit.
It would be good to keep few mother plant in the back and clone the rest like that you do, but after you did the sift, to do the sift, you need bigger. Yeah.
But there's one Dutch Boom. One of Dutch's is in here. That ice cream cake times the Black Wop Gold. I started that one because he's got ice cream cake up in this, in somewhere around here. They got it here, ICC. But they got Skittles, ice cream cake, uh, Flora King. What else? A lot of glucose phenols. That GT4 times GMO. You got a bunch of that, and some of it's all right. Some of it's not that bad. Not my favorite terp profile, but definitely it stacks indoor fat. But my favorite is this one right here, the D35. This one is a banger. It's some sort of a diesel. I don't know what, but it's got that. It kind of reminds me of like headband, dude. It's got like, yeah, that shit smells fire. That's my favorite they got in the whole
There's a
thing.
stretchy
Second would
one on
be
the side.
It's hella stretches, dude. That's why it reminds me of headband a lot. Yeah, I don't know. The flower structure, I haven't really got to see this in flower. I got to smoke the nugs, but I got to see it in flower. But then they have Mokum's Tulip. I don't know if you heard of Mokum's Tulip. That is another one that's really good. I think it's I don't know who does that one. Mokum's Tulip. I don't know. I think it's from Amsterdam. I think that shit smells like, I don't know, like a sour fruit or some sort. Just little washing machines.
If you can get one of those cone shape stuff for bear making, and you install a disc with a kind of bigger screen there, and you can have a nice mix over it, it can put your things into another scale, let's say that. You could always buy the one from Whistler Techno, but it's like 20,000, something like that. But if you make one yourself, you can get away with something pretty nice. Even the honey extractor, some of them have a cone shape that you can use it to modify it completely, but yeah, you could use that same container.
He's fucking rooted real quick. We used to do this the other day, and he seems rooted within like 4 days, 5 days. I was like, damn, sucker, that's hella quick.
What you've used to root them?
They use this powder that he gets from I believe it's from Amsterdam. It's some powder. I don't see where it is. It was here. I don't know where. Oh, here it is, right here. This shit.
Rusopon. Is it that?
Yeah.
Rusopon.
Works good. Reminds me of some stuff I used to use back in Cali. There's a powder too. I forgot the name of it. Easy Root or some shit. I can't remember the name. It was a green and white.
Yeah.
Green and white bottle is powder.
I had one that was stem root, like a pink powder kind of thing, and I tried many things after. And if you take the right one for the right thickness of wood that you're cloning, it work. I mean, one of my friends have ended up just buying the 2 bottle of rooting agent. Holy crap! I don't remember those name. They are a funny name anyway. But you use it like those bottles per and have a few drop in the water, instead of buying all the powder and the gel and stuff like that. It was like, man, you can buy those bottles of rotting agent. You can have it in a gel if you want, but he was just sticking it in the water when he was using the aerial cloner.
Damn, this place fucking. They use this shit for the phone and shit. Dude, I'm done with like feeding these things by hand. Each one, I just get that bucket. I fill it to the top, pH that shit out, throw some goodies in it, and I just flood this whole. I just pour that whole thing into here. If I have to do 2 of them, and they just suck the whole thing up.
Mostly
I was thinking about getting
seeds.
some bags I think about getting bags of soil and just filling this whole thing like a raised bed and just plugging them all in like that. Just letting them root out the whole thing. Because those are all females in there. All that in there is females that showed, and the ones sitting outside the tent right here haven't showed. And all the males, I already cut them all out. Oh, except for the Bubba BX, I started them like a week or so after, so they're still catching up. They haven't showed sex yet or nothing.
You have a lot of work on the.
Crazy.
Did you say that the Baba was a fem seed also? That was a BX1, you said something?
Yeah, everything in there is only one fem seed in there. It's skunk truffles from a teammate back in the States. That's the feminized one in there. Everything else is regs.
Oh, so you're gonna have to pick out off of. Oh.
Yeah, here's the
the-
pile of males right here. This is all the males right here. I already cut out. Like every time I see a male, I just snip it. I have nothing to do with males right now. It's all. I've got enough STS stock to make beans for like ever. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a bunch of fem beans and hunt out the hitters, and then whatever, cut them all back, run this stuff, find what I'm digging, and then move forward from there.
That's gonna be the next week following, I guess.
Right on. I guess so.
So yeah, we'll let you on that gardening, Ty.
Till next week. Find Potent Ponics at everything Potent Ponic. Can Ty, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
You got Charrier seeds, right?
You get to try seeds. They're available through Potent Ponic on Instagram. Yep. Look them up. Evil Deadly. I'm assuming Discord is still the best place to find you.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And yeah, I
Hit me
guess
up
if
on Discord.
you're looking to find me on Instagram, I guess. Anyways, everyone have a good evening, and yeah.